the game, cause see the boxing voice.
And welcome back, everyone. You are listening to It Is the Sports Swami here. We are on ThaBoxingvoice.com. And once again, now join me on the line. This man here will be fighting December 12th. It's going to be in San Antonio, Texas. It's the PBC once again, and he's going to be trying. This man here getting back onto the winning streak. He's taking on a rising young kid, Travis Coufman. Once again, he's gunning for a knockout to give you the pride and joy of Riverside, California. I'll give you Chris Arreola. Chris, let's start off here. You, Travis Kaufman, you took this fight, but quickly right after your fight against Fred Cossey in July. How big of a fight is this for you? I mean, just to be relevant in the heavyweight division, how big of it is it to not only win, but win impressively against Travis Kaufman?
You know what? First of all, I gotta say, in this card, I believe there's 3 heavyweight cards. Me being involved in one of them, obviously. I guarantee this is one of the better heavyweight fights that there's going to be on the 12th. Travis Coffman is a very skilled fighter. He has fast hands. He's a mover, man. He's one of those kind of guys that moves. He throws very good combinations. And my job is in there is to impose my will, man, to show him that I'm in a different category than he is. You know, I respect everyone I fight. Just like you said, like Fred Cossey in my last fight, man. Didn't come out the way I wanted to, but it is what it is. All I know that the 12th is going to be a different beast. You guys are going to see in Chris Arreola.
All right, so you mentioned a little bit about Travis Kaufman, what he likes to do. Let's face it, he wants to keep this to fight probably on the outside. He is, a guy who has some power, has fought 31 times, a son of a boxing coach and a boxer himself. When you've seen him work, and he's also started to work with Nazim Richardson, and he's brought in Al Cole to help him out, what's different about him than past opponents you've faced?
This is a live body, man. This is a real body. This is, especially my last 2-3 fights, not something that I'm proud of, but this is a real opponent. This is a real person. This is a formidable opponent. Someone that I really have to be ready for. Someone that I have to expect everything. Like you said, he has fast hands. He has Nazim Richardson. Not that Nazim's going to go in the corner, go in the ring with him regardless. He brings good strategy to the fight. I know he ain't going to want to sit there and bang with me, so I'll kill him. If he sits there and bangs with me, he'll be done. I know he's going to try to box. He's going to try to move. We sparred over 200 rounds already before. This is a guy that I've brought into my training camps. Plenty of times, and I'm telling you, there was lots of times that he kicked my ass. But that's sparring. I don't care. I get my ass kicked in sparring a lot. That's nothing to me. To me, sparring, that's exactly what it is. Sparring. You're training to do something. Now we're going to be fighting these 10-ounce gloves, and it's going to be a whole different world.
Is that dangerous, though, fighting a guy who, let's face it, you mentioned it is sparring. It is, it's not the biggest deal, but it gives him hope. It gives him, momentum, because he's looking at this now going, hey, look, I lasted in sparring with Chris Arreola. I was beating him up. Granted, as you said, it's sparring. A lot of guys don't take it seriously. A lot of guys just look and go, all right, well, it's just sparring itself. But is it dangerous because he understands now what you kind of do, how hard you can hit, and he has confidence knowing that he was able to, last in there. He was the guy who was able to last in that sparring session and not get sent home, on a gurney.
I never sent no one home in a gurney. I never sent no one home, period. My thing about sparring, man, I never get bumps. None of my sparring partners have ever been bumps. All of my sparring partners have been fighters that are up there in the elite class or have been up there before. I don't need punching bags. What the fuck do I need a punching bag for? You know what I mean? So, that being said, yeah, he has seen a lot of me, but I've seen a lot of him. A lot of him. And I've seen him at his best, I've seen him at his worst, just like he's seen me. The difference is, I'm the kind of guy that I rise to the occasion. I need the lights, I need the cameras, I need the action. That's what I need. That's what I live up. There's some fighters that, when you put them in the spotlight, they just freeze up. Not me, man. I'm not that kind of guy. No matter how bad my training camp has gone or went before, I always gave my all. I always
Take us to the Fred Cassidy fight. What went right? What went wrong? And looking back, when did you start feeling this fight getting away from you?
You know what, man? It was pretty awkward, man. It was a weird situation to fight in the middle of the day. It was a lot put into it. Fighting in the middle of the day, I don't know if you could ask any of these fighters that have fought in the middle of the day. It's a bit eerie because you know you're in a fight, but yet there's not that much of a fan base or that much people there. And I couldn't get up to that fight. I couldn't. Like myself, I couldn't rise to the occasion. That's the only thing I could tell you. And I got to give credit to Captain. You know, he came in with the game plan and he stuck to the game plan.
How scared should people be when you hear that? Because let's face it, going into that fight, there was talk that if you had beaten Fred Cassidy, you were going to give an next shot against Deontay Wilder. So I guess that's what scares a lot of your fans, a lot of media when you hear that. When you say and you said, "Oh, I just wasn't up for it. It didn't feel right." How do you tell the people, fans and people who want to invest in you and want to, back you at, "Hey, look, this is just an off night," because that's sort of right now the stereotype you're facing with a lot of us. A lot of media, a lot of fans. Chris Arreola just sometimes doesn't get up for it. Has too many fights where he's either not on, he's off, the weight's up. What's going? I mean, what are you doing to sort of fix all this? Because that's the biggest issue right now. It seems to get you back on the groove.
You know what? The main thing, I'm gonna answer all those questions on the phone. That's it. There's no way how to explain how I am because I'm a fucking weird motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. I think things differently. I think things fucking dumb. That's the truth. But to answer your question, December 12th, you guys will see a different piece from me. I promise that. I guarantee it's gonna be a whole different kind of Chris Arreola. Because this is my last run, man. I gotta make it happen, man. And then like all that talk about Deontay Wilder and all that, personally, bullshit. I gotta earn it. So all the media, anybody, promoters could throw my name out there. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. But me as a man, I'm the kind of guy that wants to earn it. I'm not the guy out there talking a big game. If I suck, fuck it. I suck. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. We'll do it next time. Let's do it again. You know what I mean? That's me. That's the way I feel.
You mentioned before off the air that you've now joined Big Bear. You're training up in there. Is that correct?
Yeah. I'm up here in Big Bear surviving this cold and this non-oxygen air.
Now, what made you decide to do that? What made you decide to train, less from, all the way to, Southern California, where you're closer to, LA, Riverside? What made you decide to go to Big Bear for this fight?
You know what, honestly, man, I don't mind Big Bear like I used to when I was younger. When I was younger, like 4 or 5 years ago, I hated Big Bear. I couldn't stand Big Bear. I just started Big Bear as a hole in the wall kind of place, And I just wanted to leave as soon as I can. And now I just feel like I'm more mature and I'm more stable. Especially having a son now, I got things to prove. I got things to prove to myself, to my daughter, to my son. Fuck. I've had this opportunity now. Make something out of it. Do something out of yourself, and that's what I plan on doing. That's why I'm up here working even harder.
What changes in Big Bear, and how much does it help that in Big Bear it seems there's less distractions? There's your friends aren't around, the crowd's not around, the other distractions, the fast food, the hanging out in parties. It's all as you said, it's a hole in the wall. There is no other place to go in Big Bear. How much do you think that helps you?
The thing is, man, I'm getting away from myself. It's not the friends, it's not the food, it's not that. Nah, hell no, man. I can't blame nobody else. I'm a man. I stand when I pee, man. I blame myself. All those times that I went out partying or I went out drinking or I did what I wanted, I did it because I wanted to do it. Not because my friends told me to do it. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. So I don't put no blame on nobody. That's the same reason I'm up here. I'm up here because I want to be somebody. I want to make sure I give myself every single advantage that I can. every single one. I gotta make the best out of what I got, and I got Jigger, and I have Henry, and I have my family, and I'm good.
How tough is it looking at? You mentioned Henry, and let's face it, you've heard the whispers. You've heard all of us talk that Chris should get a better trainer. He should get it. He should get somebody who's going to be tougher. How tough is that for you and Henry? Because you're very close. You guys are friends and brothers almost. How tough is it for him to crack the whip on you, and how tough is it for you to look at him at times and not see your friend, your quasi brother? Do you think you would have done better had you had somebody who's more of an asshole?
Nah, man, because I don't work good with assholes. You know, I'm like my dad. That's the reason I couldn't be with someone like that, an asshole, because it would just remind me of my father. And you know, I love my father, but when it comes to boxing, I hate that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because he pushed me to a point that I'm like, I hated boxing. I quit boxing for 4 years because he pushed me to that point. I don't need someone like that. You know, as far as Henry's concerned, man, he's there. He does his job. He does what he's supposed to do. Like I said earlier, I'm the knucklehead. I'm the knucklehead that don't listen. It's all up to me. You know, it's all up to me. You know, Freddie Roach, Teddy Atlas, you know, my respects go all to all of them because, they are great coaches. But they're great coaches because they have someone that listens. You know what I mean? If Pacquiao didn't listen, Pacquiao would still be fucking living on Hollywood Boulevard somewhere. You know what I mean? It all depends on the fighter, not on the trainer.
This fight's going to be, once again, it's going to be December 12th, only in San Antonio, Texas. It's going to be at the AT&T Arena, with the home of the San Antonio Spurs. Omar Figueroa Jr. versus Antonio Marco. Down in Brazil versus Charles Martin. You versus Travis Kaufman. So that'll be on NBC. Growing up as a kid, if you did anything on NBC, it was because it was a big ass deal. It was, Sunday Night Football. It was golf. It was tennis. These were major events. So I get, you're still looking at this fight. You're focusing on the fight, but how big is it? How big is it for you, just having that geek out moment where you can tell your family, tell your kids, hey, Daddy's fighting on NBC. Daddy's fighting on the same network that has Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. The same network that Wimbledon's on. The same network that has the Olympics. I mean, do you ever get that sense of just goosebumps because you're fighting on a major network?
Not right now, but I do like after. Like once I have fought, once everything has happened, that's when I get goosebumps. That's when I'm like, holy fuck, I was just a national TV. I'm like I said, I'm not the guy that gets like a deer in headlights. That's not me. I feel like that's where I belong. I belong on NBC. I belong on CBS. I belong on Showtime Media. That's me. I've always felt like I belong there. And yes, it's an honor. And yes, I'm very thankful to have been in the sport right now. I am very thankful to be one of the original Al Haymon fighters. Al has been, people may talk shit about him, whatever, they're just hating because they're not doing what he's doing.
Why
I'm
is
a
that?
lucky man. And I'm going to take full advantage of what I got and the opportunity that I have.
Now, a lot of people ask this, and I try to explain it to them, but maybe you could do it better here. Why is it that there's this loyalty that you guys have, Haymon fighters towards Haymon? And you're one, as you mentioned, you're one of the OGs. You're one of the original guard that was with Al Haymon. You've been with him for years. Why is it that fighters just, he says something, you usually do it. There's no questioning. What is it about this man that commands that kind of loyalty and respect?
Look, man, my son's name is Arreola. His middle name is Ali for a reason because Al has been a big part of my life. Not just boxing, man. Put boxing aside. He has helped me outside of the ring. He has helped me with things that, most managers don't give a fuck about. You know what I mean? He calls me for Christmas. It's a family. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm part of his family. You know what I mean? That's why I have so much loyalty and so much respect for him because he's changing the game. He's changing the game. He's making it there. He's putting it out there. And I'm along for the ride, and I'm thankful for that. He doesn't need me. You know what I mean? He doesn't need me. He wants me. And I'm lucky, and I'm blessed to be wanted by the best manager in boxing.
It's going to be December 12th, once again, AT&T, San Antonio, Texas. This man here will take on Travis Kaufman, who has, once again, it's Chris Nightmare Arreola. Backs against the wall. You and I we've had you on the show. I've talked to you several times. As I said, I am a fan of Chris Arreola here. You're 1-3 in the last 4 fights. You've been knocked out by Bermain Stavern. You've lost before Bermain Stavern. Yeah, sorry, 1-2, 2-1. You had a draw with Fred Costa. You beat Curtis Harper and looked tough. So let's face it, there's a lot of people who are saying that if you lose to Travis Kaufman, you are done. You are basically a journeyman. So for you to win impressively, what needs to change? What do you need to change to get everybody back on the Chris Arreola bandwagon? And more importantly, why should we believe you when you say you're going to do this?
I'm doing it because I'm up here. I'm doing it. You know, I don't expect nobody to believe me. That's okay. The main thing is on the 12th, I'm gonna make believers out of everybody. That's my goal. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make believers out of everybody. And I'm not here to shock the world because that's what I'm expected to do. I'm expected to knock somebody out. I'm expected to put on a show. That's what I'm gonna do. And on the 12th, that's my main goal is to just be a head turner that day. Be a water cooler talking on Monday, just like I used to be. Be the nightmare, just like I used to be. That's my main goal. Be me. No more of that fucking long hair flopping all over the place, you know? Be me. Be greedy.
There you have it. Once again, I give you, it is going to be December 12th. Once again, it is AT&T Arena in San Antonio, Texas. PBC on NBC. Omar Figueroa Jr. versus Antonio Marco. It's Dominic Brazil versus Charles Martin. This man here will take on Travis Kaufman. Once again, I give you the nightmare, Chris Arreola. Chris, before we let you go, where can the fans check you out? Where is the Twitter page, Instagram, Facebook, the website?
Just, check me out on Instagram or Chris Arreola, Facebook, Chris Arreola. They're both the same thing. Also, I'm posting more pictures, more stuff about camp starting tomorrow. Got to pick it up and show people that I'm doing shit. You know, I don't post that much days because I'm not that guy that needs to show everybody what I'm doing. I'm not that guy. I don't know. I see a bunch of guys that just got a fucking show like they're doing something, but then I see them and they're fucking eating chips. You know what I mean? I don't need to be posting nothing. But if you want, you can follow me. There's a bunch of funny shit on my page.
Well, there you have it. Once again, I give you, it is Chris, the Nightmare Arreola. Chris, always on a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And I promise you, the 12th, man, you're going to see a different beast. I'm working. I'm grinding, man, and you'll see on the 12th.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Stay tuned for more great action here. Once again, you're listening to It's a Sports Swami here on BoxingVoice.com.